Hello and welcome to the Rajya Sabha TV. I am Rakhee, Bakshee. You're watching The Quest. In this program, we talk to different political leaders and also leading personalities. And right now, the guest this week is Mr. Sadananda Gowda, the new Railway Minister of India. Welcome to the show, sir. Sir, you come with a lot of responsibilities, as we understand. So how would you really like to take Railway Ministry head?
See, practically, it is a new portfolio at the center for me. So far, I have not taken any portfolios in the center. I worked as a Chief Minister of Karnataka for 1 year. My experience as a Parliament member, this is the third time I am becoming the Parliament member. In the last Parliament, when I was the Parliament member, I was asked to come down to Karnataka. There was a small political turbulence, and so I took over charge as a Chief Minister there. So 2.5 years in the last tenure, I was the Parliament member. Afterwards, I went to Karnataka and I became the Chief Minister of Karnataka for 1 year. Then I became the...
How was that period, sir?
It was a wonderful period. Practically, I got a good name during my tenure as the Chief Minister. I gave a corruption-free government, a people-friendly government, and practically the whole Karnataka accepted me as their Chief Minister, and I worked as a Chief Minister for the whole state. Not only I am a BJP, I worked not as a BJP Chief Minister, I worked as the Chief Minister of Karnataka, and 6.5 crore people, they have accepted me. That
when you talk about this whole corruption-free background, sir, that itself is an advantage right now for you because you're seen as a person, a leader with rather clean image. And we have seen in the background, I mean, in the UPA government, we saw all kind of drama happening as one railway minister had to go. How would you look at that kind of baggage or burden that you carry?
See, it is a very big challenging task. Certainly, I think that railway portfolio, which reaches each and every common individual of the country. So anything, if I take a small step which have an adverse impact on the rural people, automatically there will be a great, and practically this is the portfolio where we need to act very cautiously and much importance to the service sector, safety sector and security. So my three important agendas as far as this is safety, security and service, 3 years. These are the three important aspects that we need to give importance. Of course, apart from that, as you rightly said, of course, corruption-free governance is one of the important agenda in my Prime Minister, Honorable Narendra Modi's agenda. So I need to implement that. Of course, I am determined to take firm steps as far as whenever I come across this sort of working style of any of the officials in railway department.
So what is your working style now, sir?
See, for another 1 week or 2 weeks, I should study in detail. I should get all the particulars from the officers, all the members, the board chairman, they should give what should be the future agenda of their in their mind. And I, as a railway minister, I got my own certain agendas as per the directions of my Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. So that also will be included in. So simultaneously, both from the officer side and from the government side, there should be a beautiful combination of all the agendas. And practically, I am supposed to give a budget. That is one of the crucial things for me in the coming
When you talk about budget, sir, generally what happens, the railway ministry, it's such a vast ministry, but apart from being an infrastructure ministry, so to say, there are political elements involved. So, how would you look at, trying to distance?
No, certainly, as you rightly said, see, there are political components. There will be, always it will be there, because a change of government, automatically we have gone to the people with certain novel ideas before the people. So we should reach up to their expectations. What all assurances we have given during the election process, that need to be taken care of. So automatically, totally you can't come out of the...
Now you don't have problems because there's no coalition, I mean as such, that pressure of coalition which was earlier there, you've got a thumping majority, BJP itself. So how would you look at it?
I will tell you one thing. Whatever decision we take, automatically it will be viewed in a different direction by the opposition. Especially Congress party, they are the losers. So automatically they have depressed mind. And whatever we do, they will say that, see, we wanted to give so many things. Last budget, what interim budgets given by the railway minister, you know, just yesterday I gone through in detail. There was a hike of fares, nearly 10 to 14%. On the basis of that inclusion of that fare hike, they gave the budget in the last occasion, but it is not implemented so far. So automatically there is nearly 8,200 crores deficit in the budget. As on today, every day the department is losing 2 crores. So somewhere I have to adjust this. If I hike the price, so automatically the common man.
Are you already suffering from that pressure, sir? Each time budget comes in, there is this pressure.
But,
all eyes on railways.
But I will tell you one thing. To give good service, of course, this inflation and other matters also should be taken into consideration. Just more service should be given after getting some more funds from the various corners of the railway department. So we can't say that we are going to do this and that unless we have sufficient funds. How it is possible to go ahead? Cleanliness is one of the important factors that need to be considered. Yeah. Safety measures need to be taken. So many commissions, earlier commissions have given reports that has been not implemented. Security, fire and other things, dacoity, all these things that need to be looked into.
You talked about safety, sir, and the day, in fact, the swearing-in happened, there was an unfortunate accident. So these things keep happening, and of course, in India,
for that only I said safety is the utmost priority. Whatever service we have got at present, just we are telling that we are going to do this, and if the earlier services given by us, if there is no safety, then automatically it will not have much impact on the public.
Do you think there would be a focused plan this time, a very aggressive plan?
We need to take, see, no, not only myself, even earlier all the ministers, railway ministers said we are going to give much importance to safety, security and all these things. But so far only when there is a debate or discussions on the floor of the house or in front of the media, they used to tell all these things. It is not practically implemented, but the implementation part is one of the important aspects that need to be taken care of.
Okay, so there's so much we need to talk to you about, sir, but right now we are taking a very short break. We are going in for a very short break, but we are in conversation with Mr. Sadananda Gowda. He's the new railway minister. Of course, there are a lot of challenges, but he seems confident that he'll be working on it. Do watch. Welcome back to the show. You're watching The Quest, and we are in conversation with the new Railway Minister of India, Mr. Sadananda Gowda. Sir, talking about railway, a lot of things, of course, need to be done. There are too many sections. But talking about his whole modernization, rather, if I use the word corporatization, are you looking at it? I mean, it's kind of a government authority.
It is need of the hour. Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji ka concept of new speed trains, bullet trains also need to be looked into. But financial constraints also should be taken care of. Some investors, if they come forward, foreign investor development, foreign direct investment, or some PPP model, all these things need to be considered. It may not be.
You'll be balancing it somewhere.
Certainly, say in India, railway service is one of the important services. And in the development aspect also, railway will play an important role because communications and other things are one of the important, big country and practically having big population. We should take care of all those things. So I think that...
No, but this is largely a government system. You have government servants working in it. So how would you like to kind of invite fresh talent? Are you thinking of inviting fresh talent? And
no, I have to discuss with my Prime Minister because what all assurances we have given to the people, at least there should be a roadmap for all those things. To get a roadmap, we should, in detail, we should study everything, how it could be implemented. For implementation, what are the requirements at this stage? These are
because we have seen with experience that in this government system, I mean, there are of course officers and the whole fabric is there, but sometimes there is a lull because of the whole system not really inviting fresh talent or fresh thought or mind. So I mean, there has to be a new energy. Let's say.
I will tell you, my department one side government plus another side, inside the government there is a board. So board is also an important division, they will take decisions. So one thing, we should work together, the bureaucrats as well as the administrators, they should work together, they should plan up for all these things. Say there may be opposition for certain things, I don't think, but in each and every decision, a percentage of people certainly they will oppose it, but in the larger interest
No,
of the
because the
country.
Prime Minister is giving indications that he wants to really do things. He is seen as a doer. So he will, of course, give space to fresh thoughts and ideas and talent also.
I am also of the same idea. Certainly, my Prime Minister, he has got some innovative ideas that need to be implemented. Some hard decisions need to be taken whenever it is required in the larger development of the country. Development by that itself will not grow. But we have to pour water, we have to pour manure, all these things are necessary. So under such circumstances, there may be a small resistance from the public, there may be a small resistance from the people who are getting service from the railway department. In spite of that, in certain occasions, to have more future services to the people, we should take some decisions which at one point of time it may not be liked by those people, but it will be liked by the future generation.
Okay, so you're saying long-term vision should be there, basically. So talking about tariff, very sensitive issue also. How would you really like to balance? I mean, in the coming days, I think few days only, you'll be facing this problem.
Yeah.
So do you think that it becomes very political? I mean, you raise affairs and it becomes kind of hue and cry comes. So do you think there should be authority separately to deal with it, which I think was started earlier by you?
No, my predecessor, he is also hailing from my own state. Practically, there was a tariff, rise of tariff hike already proposed by him, 10 to 14%. But he has not implemented it. Last minute, after the presentation of the budget, he delayed for some days. Then code of conduct came. So that is pending. What will happen if a new minister coming in, and if there is a raise, automatically people will say, what is this? These people are coming and doing all. Of course, the burden is on the earlier government. That is shifted over to me now. But somehow I would.
But do you think it should be the minister level decision or the ministry level decision, or there should be a board or, as you're saying, authority to handle these tariffs?
Say I should get all the particulars from the board. Okay. I should get all the public opinions also at the same time. Certainly, there should be a small part of the political decision also involved in that, because we came to power recently, and our assurances to the people that more service and price, there is a price rise, certainly we will control all those things. So immediately, if there is a fare hike, automatically people may think something else. So this has to be managed somewhere. To give more service, more funds are required.
And there are new things were proposed, like you of course said that quadrilateral project and all that, and also Buddha circuit and different corridors. So are you looking at again?
So at this juncture, at this stage, I am not in a position to give any idea, because unless and until I study the pros and cons, coming to a conclusion and telling something, usually what the politicians will do, as soon as they assume charges, they will tell so many things. Subsequently, they will forget one by one. That should not happen in
Another question comes over this using cross subsidy. For example, on the freight, to balance the fare hike for the passengers, the burden was going on there. And that's how it was balanced. Would you look at it?
Yeah, Lalu Prasad began that issue. So I think that I will study all those things. But somehow there should be more funds for to give more service and take up new projects. At the same time, it should not be a burden to the common man.
Do you think that's a big pressure somewhere, some kind of dilemma also, where you would have to balance that? But you're aware of that.
Certainly, I am aware of all those things. So I said it is a very challenging task.
Yeah, and specifically coming to these things like giving services to the passengers, whether we're talking about sanitation problems, making stations more modern and friendly, or even the infrastructure or safety that you talked about, where these are unmanned level crossings. So are these things also in your mind to work on?
Certainly. See, all these things should be taken simultaneously. unmanned level crossing, safety, it will come under that. So we should look after that, and separate, especially drinking water, sanitation, and cleanliness in the and especially modernization. Modernization was declared by 2 years earlier, 3 years earlier, 5 years earlier. Lalu Prasad Yadav also declared so many upgradation of railway stations, but it has not taken off.
Okay, so we are still talking to you, and don't go away. We are still talking to Mr. Sadananda Gowda. He's the new Railway Minister of India. Do keep watching The Quest. Hello and welcome back to the show, and we are talking to Mr. Sadananda Gowda, the new Railway Minister of India, and all eyes right now are on him, and we'll continue to talk to you. Sir, talking about some other facilities, are there something new that the BJP government under your leadership in Railway Ministry will come up with?
See, I have to balance everything in the first budget. So we should have a plan for 5 years. What all things we need to take up in the first 5 years? Priority sectors has to be identified. Unless I identify the priority sector, I can't come out. See, so
But increasing the revenue and trying to balance from different sections would be a task maybe before you.
yeah.
So,
that certainly that should be looked into. Otherwise, it may not be possible.
will you use the surplus revenue, which, for example, there is railway land, there is communication, there are certain other areas from which.
See, I will tell you. See, as far as these things are concerned, how the states should participate, there should be a clear guideline. Benefits are taken by each and every state, but almost all revenues and other fundings, certainly the state should give. See, in my own state, when we were in power in Karnataka BJP government, we had a cost sharing process in the railways. 50% of the total project cost will be given by the state government. 50% will be given by the central government. Apart from handing over free land to the railway department. All these things, there should be a common and uniform agenda across the country with all states with the railway department. That is the need of the hour. So I am looking at it also, but immediately I can't go to that level.
No, what I'm trying to understand and get from you is the vision from you, sir. So the vision should be modern. I mean, to kind of get all these modern ideas and inculcate and also take into consideration the current fabric.
I will tell you one thing. I should get the opinions of some experts in that area. Okay. Now I am thinking, who are all the experts who are now outside the government, outside the department. Just like I can name Sridharan. He is an important person as far as railways are concerned. So I should take his services. So many like-minded persons.
Like many metros are there in the pipeline already, sir. Yes. So you would like to speed up all those projects?
Certainly we should speed up. See, just giving a project and just giving some appreciation at the announcement time, that itself will not really develop the country. The implementation part, speed of all the projects, complete in the stipulated period, that is one of the important aspects that need to be taken care of.
One thing that I think your government maybe should be keen on is, handling this whole agri products which come, the perishable items. So how to handle it and manage it would be...
I should have a separate meeting with regard to that. Almost all railways must have the necessary latest, it should not be, the material should not be destroyed or diminished. For all these things we should spend some more, but it will certainly benefit for the railway department as well as to the farmers of the country.
And there are so many ideas that every time the ministers come up with for the welfare of Charis, the employees, and there are Safai Charis, for example, which are at the lowest rung and maybe sometimes not really looked at well. So all these human considerations and...
Certainly that in that angle, if my people who are working in the department, that they may be karmacharis of the lower level and all, if they are given more and more benefits, they also feel that we should work more, it is my department. We should give more idea, and certainly more incentives should be given to them.
Like we see in foreign countries, sir, sometimes tourism is also kind of attached with railways. So we have a vast network, and we can always promote tourism, like I told you about Buddha circuit or things like that, like some nations do. Should that be
Yeah,
also on your...
already a small importance has given to this tourism sector across the country. Even earlier days was also given, but it has reached a very small extent. It has been reached. We have to take tourism is one of the important sectors. Certainly, our country and railways certainly make use of this tourism vision, and we can get more and more what you call financial support also from this sector.
You are from Karnataka, sir. So Karnataka would be expecting a lot from you. And every time it happens, and I'm going to the background, that ministers who hail from different states focus more on their own states. So how are you looking at?
No, but I will tell you one thing. It is a railway services. We should look at the nation as one unit. Of course, from my state, I should give some special importance. It is unavoidable. A man coming from Karnataka, if I don't give some importance to my state, automatically people, natural, it is quite but natural, everybody will expect something from the concerned ministry if a ministry is given to that state. So 5% to 5%, 10% more interest should be given
So
to the
I'm
state.
sure those people who are listening from there.
No,
will be happy.
whatever it may be, but we should concentrate. It is the as a representative of that state. So certainly I should give some, but it should not be simply my state centered. All these projects and future projects, it should be a nation. We should take nation as a unit, wherein a small, more important should be given to my state.
And of course, the broad area that I'm trying to talk to you about is the management here in the railways. And that would be important because you talked about, again, this corruption thing comes up. So this whole management would be very corporate style, very aggressive style, or will be like we have seen so many times ministers come and go, but they have the fabric remains like in...
Immediately I can't jump into the well. Slowly I should jump, then I should climb from there. So automatically, I don't know. In depth, I should study all those things. What all things happens, where, in which places, and certain areas I have already come across during my when I was member of parliament. I came to know certain areas where these corruption activities, rackets, all these things are there. I came across all these things. At that time, I was in opposition. I used to shout at the ruling party. Today, I am sitting in the ruling party and I am holding that portfolio. I should have a great responsibility to come out of the things which I have said earlier days.
So many are the leaders from your state, but we should talk about Mr. Yedurappa, of course, also from there. How would you look at him?
Practically, Yedurappa, of course, for various reasons that I don't want to discuss somewhere, but he has got that commitment. When he was the chief minister, Karnataka saw a new phase of development. That word development has given a importance during the regime of Yedurappa.
You're not talking about the negative side.
No, I will not discuss that. See, positive things should be always discussed. So automatically we can go towards positive activities.
And as we are now wrapping up this program, sir, what is your message to the nation as a railway minister? What would you tell them, all these passengers?
Even though it is a challenging task, I should try my level best, and I should see that a new era in the railway should come up. I should give importance for safety, security and service. These are the three important factors I should. Automatically, we are entering into the new era of innovative ideas and all that. Some innovative ideas also should be brought. As rightly said by my Honorable Prime Minister, we should take the concepts of my Prime Minister's views. A new agenda has to be set, and within next 5 years, railways should see a new phase.
Will their pockets be lighter or will it be burdened? That's a key question.
Some occasions it will be lighter, some occasions it will be burdened. I don't say anything at this juncture.
Okay, thank you so much, sir, and all the very best to you, and whatever you do and your endeavors, we'll keep watching you, and of course we'll keep watching you with a lot of expectations, and so will be the people. And that was the new Railway Minister of India, Mr. Sadananda Gowda. He is again looking at the Railway Ministry with a lot of confidence. He understands the challenges before him, but that was about it, and hope you like this edition of The Quest. Keep watching. Namaskar and bye-bye.